Hello internet friends, good news for Star Wars Galaxies fans in that James Crosby's new edition of his book all about galaxies has been released. I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to do a review in this video. James sent me a copy of the new edition and gratis, so full disclosure as they say on YouTube. He didn't send it to me under the proviso that I would do a video about it, but I want to do a video anyway. I'll put a link to the original review up there. In brief, it's a very well written book, very professional. I like the fact that James not only gives us a list of kind of cold hard facts of when things happened in the life cycle of galaxies and the early development, he also talks about his experience with the game and gives it a very personal angle. So I appreciate that, hearing about someone's actual story with the game. But then he details in great detail what happened during the development and how things panned out for the game and where it is now. So yeah, the reason I wanted to do this video was because in the interim, since I did that original review, I've tried to do something along these lines myself for a video, and I came across a problem in that the information online, I kind of suspected this, but it's very hard to track down because the companies, the websites where the information, say about a niche topic like galaxies used to reside, have gone away. There are things like the Internet Archive and there are the Wayback Machine, but that are supposed to retain information, but it's slowly being lost. Those websites are difficult to navigate and they don't retain everything. There's this myth online that once something is on the internet, it's there forever, and it's simply not true, and we're beginning to see this now. 20 years in, 2003 I guess is Star Wars Galaxies, and we can see almost 20 years on how much of that information about the game is still there. Not an awful amount, and it takes a lot of digging to get. For 2,000 plus years, we as human beings have figured out a way to retain information and pass it down to future generations, and there's a danger that now we're relying on the internet to do that. Books are becoming less of a thing, but they are a great way to store that information and pass it down, and they are more permanent. There is no body like a library on the internet, the job of which is to store information. There are great websites like that are covering, say, MMO things like massively, but as we've seen with that, they can be threatened, and they only still exist because of the passion of the people who are writing for those sites. The same with James. If people like this aren't taking it upon themselves to write an overview of this topic that we're all interested in, the information could be lost, and I appreciate it. The other thing I wanted to do with this video is support self-publishing. I really find it really inspiring when someone decides to make something out of nothing. Now, James is basing his book is about something that exists, but still, there is no company paying James to do this. He's taken it upon himself because of a passion in the topic to make this thing a reality. I always find that inspiring. That's what I try to do with videos all the time. And there's also these murky legal waters that we're in. James has obviously changed from the original. He's had to change the cover. Now, I don't know exactly why this was called for, but I think we can infer, because of the changes that he's made. It's simply called Galaxies now. MMO Folklorist is what James goes by, his blog online, so follow James. But also the unofficial and unauthorized history of Star Wars Galaxies is front and center. It's not authorized, it's not official. And I think we can infer that there were perhaps problems there, that people might mistake this for being some kind of official publication by the rights holders of either Star Wars or the game. There's a Twi'lek there and a Wookiee. They belong to Lucasfilm, don't they? So James is navigating waters that I, as a video producer, I'm very aware of. Things to do with fair use. And if you're a player of an emulator or a developer of an emulator, you're also in murky grey waters. People use fair use. If you don't know what it is, it's kind of the idea that what you're doing doesn't negatively impact the rights holders of something, and it was brought about to protect reviews and educational work, really, primarily. So you as a lecturer or a reviewer of the book don't need permission from the person who wrote that book in order to do a review about it, or talk about it, use snippets of it for illustrative purposes. And in the early days of YouTube and with videos online, Let's Plays in particular, there was much debate about does this fall within fair use? Because another aspect of fair use is the work transformative? Do you add something new to the thing that you're talking about? So it's the difference between me uploading A New Hope, the movie, to YouTube in its entirety. I am not allowed to do that, but I am allowed to use snippets of the film in a video in order to review it and to talk about it. So is it transformative? So a quick overview of fair use, but it's something that can stop stuff like this happening. And I think the fact that James has gone to all of the effort to bring it back in physical form is important. The digital version has been available all this time, but we need this. Actually, secretly, I know this is a product of necessity, but I prefer this. This seems to me like they released the Harry Potter books with like adult covers. This is the kids cover and this is the adults cover, black with the composite helmet, and just I like it. I like it better. So sometimes adversity is the mother of invention. So the book is out now. I am going to put links in the comments. As I say, if you want my review, you can go to that original video, but take it from me, it's well worth a read, and it's on your shelf, and it's not going to go away when the companies where the information resides vanish from the internet. I think it's an important thing to have for the things that you hold dear. Personally, books are becoming more important to me, not less, as the internet and services deliver our information and our products to us. Spotify, Steam. What happens when those companies go out of business? There's no regulatory body that says you must retain all of this stuff for the people. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like a library online where these things are going to be kept. You have to, if you want to retain things, you have to do it. You have to be proactive, as James is in writing it, and we are as readers and fans of the thing the book is about, buying it. So we have it on our shelves. So thank you for listening. I hope you will support James and buy a copy of the book. Thank you to James for sending it for me. As I say, he didn't ask me to do a review or a video about it. I just want to. And thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Bye.